Major changes are coming to sanctuary cities. Donald Trump has just announced his next target.
And after we do this, we'll go to another location and we'll make it safe also. We're going to make our country very safe. We're going to make our cities very, very safe. Chicago's a mess. You have an incompetent mayor, grossly incompetent. And we'll straighten that one out probably next. That'll be our next one after this. And it won't even be tough. And the people in Chicago, Mr. Vice President, are screaming for us to come. They're wearing red hats, just like this one.
I want you to take notice of something here in this image. Donald Trump is not wearing a tie. Neither is J.D. Vance. The gloves are off. If you know, you know. And look at the bottom right, the Dow. As Donald Trump cleans up cities around the United States, as crime drops, the Dow, the economy, the stock market goes up because there are less illegal immigrants in our country being basically reliant on the government. And Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are taking that reliance away, and it means more money back in your pocket. Chicago, here they come.
But they're wearing red hats. African-American ladies, beautiful ladies, are saying, please, President Trump, come to Chicago. Please. I did great with the black vote, as you know, and they want something to happen. So I think Chicago will be our next, and then we'll help with New York, and we're going to help with. And I think a lot of these people that you see on television, they're including the people in this audience. They'll say bad things about me, and then they'll say, "Thank God he's here," because half of them got mugged. And they don't want to get mugged again, but they work for they work for stupid people that are radical left, and they're made to do things and say things that they don't want to be saying. But the people right here are all happy because you're not going to be mugged in Washington, D.C. anymore.
Donald Trump brings up a great point. There are people in that audience, in that Oval Office, that are reporters that live and work in and around Washington, D.C., and some of them have been mugged. Some of them have been held against their will. They have been carjacked. And Donald Trump is doing exactly what he said he was going to do. Chicago, you are next. Like and subscribe to this video before we get too far into this. We're going to talk a little bit now about what else Donald Trump has said he was going to do. He said he was going to secure the border. That's been done. He said he was going to increase tariffs and help our economy. Right now, the projection is he's going to lower the national debt by $4 trillion. Next up is crime. D.C. is just a cookie cutter. It's a petri dish for what works, and we've got more coming.
0 murders in the last week since we've done this. That's the first time in memory that that's happened, if you can believe it, how pathetic that is to have to even say it. And I'm tired of listening to these people say how safe it was before we got here. It was unsafe. It was horrible. And Mayor Bowser better get her act straight or she won't be mayor very long because we'll take it over with the federal government, run it like it's supposed to be run. The numbers were horrible. It was a crime-infested rat hole. And they do have a lot of rats. We're getting rid of them, too. And we've made a lot of progress. And it was extremely unsafe, and now it's extremely safe.
When the National Guard hit the ground in Washington last week, that city's crime fight went into overdrive. And now we're seeing the impact and the dramatic reductions in crime.
When the National Guard rolled into Washington last week, the locals seemed skeptical.
The crime is minimal here. There's not really a lot of crime here. It looks like window dressing to me.
But with the Guard on the ground, crime is on the decline. For the first time in a long time, D.C. has gone 7 days without a homicide. And that's not all. Carjackings are down 83%. Robberies are down 46%. Car thefts down 21%. And overall violent crime is down 22%.
When you have these kind of numbers going down, it basically says this is a success, and that means people feel safer.
Like many big cities, Washington's police department is critically short-staffed.
People who don't feel safe aren't free.
Sergeant Betsy Smith with the National Police Association says it is ripe for federal help.
More police generally equals less crime.
Well, my good friend, Comfortably Smug, was in the city last week. And there's a lot. First of all, I'll just say from a personal experience, everybody that we encounter is thrilled with the idea that they have a safer Washington, D.C. They can walk around. It wasn't this way. I mean, it's gotten real bad in the last few years, but it's cleaned itself up. And you walked around pretty late last night.
Yeah. So we had our fantasy draft. It was a ton of fun. Afterwards, I went and I met a friend at a bar. It was probably around 11 o'clock at night, which is usually, you don't want to be out on the streets in D.C. It's not usually safe. Afterwards, I took a walk around the block.
How wrong is that for 4 adult males to be afraid to walk around the capital of the United States after 11 o'clock at night? I've got friends that go to the Vietnam Wall. They don't go during the day. They go at night so they can get a little bit of solace and solitude. Why should they be afraid to go pay tribute at some of these monuments, honoring men and women, American heroes, and be afraid to get out of their car in the nation's capital? Does that say something to you that our country has gone so far that you see Humvees outside of federal buildings in the United States? This isn't Honduras. This isn't Kuwait. This isn't Baghdad. This isn't Tehran. This is Washington, D.C. This is supposed to be the safest and greatest city in America. It's supposed to represent everything that the foundation and our founding fathers hoped for. And it's resolved to this. How far would it have gone if Donald Trump had not been elected president? I'll leave you to decide that.
In parts of Chinatown, which essentially during the daytime were an open air drug market. It's a block from the arena. It was open air drug market during the day. Last night, completely clean.
And this
quiet.
This thing,
no drug users, no homeless people, no crime. It was mind blowing.
This is the area he's talking about, Will, is the area that made the Washington Capitals want to move to Virginia.
A man was shot in the head a block away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well,
now
we can see
it's
your
just
photos.
free of crime.
We can see your photos, Smug, on the screen right now. They're all pointing. None of them are selfies. They're all pointing away, and I think everybody is watching.
Look how empty and clean those streets are. You would think that was San Francisco and Xi Jinping was rolling into town. Well, Donald Trump wasn't finished. Donald Trump's not finished. Not only is he cleaning up the sanctuary cities, cleaning up the streets, but he's going to clean up America. And a big part of America, and the reason America is so great, is because of all those truck drivers out there. And Marco Rubio just came out and made a major announcement about what he's planning and what he's doing. It's going to incentivize the American workforce, and it's also going to clean up some of the criminals that are hanging around here, causing a lot of disasters on the roadways, just like this one that happened in Florida with this illegal that couldn't even speak English.
Now to a Fox News alert. An Obama-appointed federal judge is stopping Florida from taking in more detainees at Alligator Alcatraz and ordering parts of the detention center to be dismantled over environmental concerns. Governor Ron DeSantis is ready to fight back, telling Fox News, "We totally expected an adverse ruling, and we also knew we were going to immediately appeal and get that decision stayed. So we will ultimately be successful in this. It's not going to stop our resolve. We're going to continue to do what we need to do to help the Trump administration remove illegal aliens from our country."
How does an Obama-appointed judge rule from the bench, play politics from the bench, and shut down Alligator Alcatraz? Now, we were all waiting for this judge, some judge, probably out of the 9th District, to come up and do this. But I think Governor DeSantis, he's a former Navy JAG. He knows his way around the courtroom. I think this judge has probably picked the wrong battle.
Former Deputy Assistant DHS Secretary and former Acting ICE Director Jonathan Fahey joins me now. Jonathan, good morning to you. So this judge says that no additional detainees can be taken to Alligator Alcatraz from this point on, and that the state must start shutting down this facility. The judge also said in a ruling that lighting from some of the buildings at this facility are impacting the Florida Panther. So can Alligator Alcatraz operate right now with this ruling in place?
Well, it seems like right now, at least for the next, 60 days or so, they can, and they're going to appeal this immediately, so probably overruling this judge. But what makes this so, kind of ridiculous in so many respects is, as you've reported before, this was already an airport run by the state. So the idea that the Panthers all of a sudden are impacted because they made it from an airport to a prison is just utter nonsense. And
this is just another way for a judge to interfere with American justice. That's all this is. This is political judicial systems that have been put in place. And I got to give credit to the Biden administration. They put these liberal judges in place at the perfect time. And now you have rhino Republicans like Chuck Grassley out of Iowa that are holding up Donald Trump appointees. John Thune prevented Donald Trump from doing recess appointments. Mike Johnson took a trip to the Holy Land for 28 days rather than pushing through Donald Trump appointees. This has to stop. It needs to stop. And we're going to see what else happened in Florida today, but this is a big one.
Secretary Rubio posted this on X saying, effective immediately, we are pausing all issuance of worker visas for commercial truck drivers. The increasing number of foreign drivers operating large tractor trailer trucks on U.S. roads is endangering American lives and undercutting the livelihoods of American truckers. So it is state law that dictates whether or not an illegal alien can get a commercial driver's license. But what Secretary of State Marco Rubio is doing here is different. Can you explain that?
Yes, this is, first of all, he's putting Americans' public safety ahead of illegal immigrants or anything else. But he can decide who can get a new visa to come in here and work as a truck driver. So he's pausing that, saying we're at least pausing it until we could figure out a way to make sure everyone that's doing so can do so safely. Because remember, this person wasn't even able to pass basic driver tests, didn't even speak English. And it seems like that should be a minimal requirement for driving commercial trucking in this country.
A work visa in the United States is a privilege. It is not a right, and it can be revoked at any time. Donald Trump made a major announcement today regarding this same thing, where they are going to investigate the 55 or 60 million work visas that are currently out right now. This needs to happen. The truckers on the road, I wish all of you stay safe with these kind of criminals flying around.
That you know what the road signs say, know what they mean, and can understand them, because public safety comes first. And again, we're dealing with another situation that was entirely preventable and entirely political because, Gavin Newsom puts public safety behind the interests of illegal aliens, which are actually his political interests as well. So this is just a step of putting public safety first. It will make things safer, at least going forward. And there are probably other things they could do to make sure things like this don't happen again. But certainly a good policy. Hey,
do you agree with removing the work visas? Do you agree with making it stricter, more difficult for people that shouldn't be here to get jobs? More importantly, CDLs. If you're going to be on the highway, whether it's on a bicycle, a skateboard, or a damn tricycle, you need to be able to read the road signs. You need to be able to operate that vehicle safely. And you need to be able to understand English. If you want to come to our country, assimilate, learn our language, learn our traditions. Hell, I would even go so far as to, learn the laws, learn what the country was built on. Our government right now has too many people in it that don't understand the weight and the magnitude of the men and women that went before them, that are buried in national cemeteries and other cemeteries all around the United States. That sacrificed everything. They paid the ultimate price for you and I to have our freedom and our safety. And they spit in the face of that every time they allow these criminal, illegal aliens to come to this country and take the lives of normal, average Americans. This is the Ben Dykes Show. Smash the like and subscribe button on your way out the door. I'll see you in the next one.